with this Ben Simmons nonsense, which further proves, in my opinion, that's all the money. I remember saying this before, that depending on where you come from, they treat you different. And then good old brother Steven Jackson said something that I just don't agree with, and it don't make sense whatsoever. He said that we come from the hood, which I don't know if Ben Simmons is from the hood or not. So I guess everybody's from the hood, but we come from the hood, so we overcome so much, and we got money, so how can you have PTSD? Or not PTSD, mental illness. That was the dumbest statement I ever heard in my life. When you have celebrity after celebrity that don't make it to 70 years old. These celebrities are not dying from old age. These celebrities are dying because you people are in their business, stressing them out, asking them all these goddamn questions that they don't want to hear. Michael Jackson could not even go to sleep, allegedly, at night. One of the richest men on earth. Not on earth, but one of the richest black men in America. How about Prince? Name the black actor, name the black celebrity that ain't stressed. In my opinion, it's a shame. In my opinion, it's a shame that they brought up a kid who didn't get in the game to have talking about this guy. A guy that did not get in the game should not be talked about. Why are we talking about a guy who did not get in the game? This is why so many athletes are on drugs. This is, in my opinion, this is why so many celebrities get on drugs. You guys treat them different than anybody else. Ben Simmons did not play in the basketball game, and he's being talked about all over the sports news, more so than the Boston Celtics winning the freaking game.
That is the quote of the day. I sat there and couldn't believe it. They were down 3-0, and I was doing a live stream walking around outside, and I said, they'll talk about Ben Simmons more than the people who played on the court. They were down 3-0, and everybody started talking about Ben Simmons. It was the Ben Simmons hate train. Everybody was aboard, and everybody was swimming. Oh, it's been a problem. It's been a problem. But there's a double-edged sword as to why they're going after Ben so hard. Now, we're going to get into all of that because what he said is true. But this is what Captain Jack's problem is. Captain Jack, I know what you meant to say, but you're not smart enough. So we understand Jack is pretty dumb. So Jack, we've already assessed that. You know, we've been leaving Jack alone because Jack ain't really did nothing since then, you know, but Jack's just not that bright. What Jack, he keep equating everything to money. First off, Ben Simmons is from Australia. That's one. Ben Simmons, everything is just not so equated to, well, you got money, so you shouldn't have no problems. And Jack is one of the main people that should know that. Just because he came up in tough areas of Beaumont, Texas and all that, don't mean everybody comes from the hood, which is a lie. The majority of the players in the NBA don't come from the hood. They come from basketball camps, going to Michigan State, going to 4-year scholarship. Most of them don't come out of the hood. Most of them have a pretty much normal suburban life, mom, dad, or whatever, and they go to the league. It's only far few and in between. Some of those special ones come out of the hood. Not all everybody from the hood go to the NBA. Not at all. It was more squares in the NBA than it was anything else. Shouts out to you too for forgetting to send out all my notifications. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Now, yeah, he don't get it. Now, I'm not really defending Ben Simmons. I just understand that there's a problem there. I think he does have mental issues. I think it runs in his family. I know his sister Liv, she suffers from these things because of things that happened to her in the past. She suffers from these mental issues. So it's something that goes along with his family. But they omit this. And a lot of the sports media went way too far into tearing Ben Simmons down. When the time to go through this is when he played in Philly and he choked the game not once but twice. Now, questioning the man's mental illness situation, that should have never been brought into question. Because one, the league definitely can't do it because they know that goes against guidelines, and mental health situation is supposed to be something that's really super sensitive, but it's a black athlete. Oh man, he all right. He could take it. He black. See, that's the narrative that they're giving out in the sports media world, knowing that if Tom Brady said he was dealing with some mental health issues and everybody else, they'll be walking around tiptoeing on a minefield. Oh, well, we know he's dealing with some mental issues. So when it's not the same, and you see everybody's not responding and replying the same and treating it the same, that's what he's talking about. Y'all got all this hate and disdain for a man that didn't even play in the game. Y'all blaming this man for not going out on the court when y'all ain't even evaluated his health situation. Now, here's the main problem of that situation with Ben Simmons. It goes all the way back from the beginning. When I called him Ben the Bus Simmons, I said this is a bad idea because of the way he carried himself. The scouting report on Ben Simmons coming out of LSU. LSU did not make the the 64 teams, the NCAA tournament. They didn't make the Final Four tournament, so they qualified for the NIT. Ben Simmons is like, oh, well, I'm gonna play for. I'm gonna just sit out and go to the NBA draft. Well, I'm gonna play for. We only going to the NIT. They was like, man, you don't even want to compete to try to win that? You know, at least y'all win something. You don't even want to compete for that? Nah. So he didn't help his team. And the scouting report on him was Simmons' lack of competitiveness in crucial games has raised questions about his character. Those who know him best said he needs things to revolve around him on and off the court, and that he's often been closed minded to coaching and instructions. This was the scouting report on Ben Simmons by Jonathan Giovanni, who scouted Ben Simmons when he was at LSU. Now tell me if that's not the same Ben Simmons we see right now in 2022. So don't forget to hit the like button, good people. Now, Ben Simmons have had a track record of having these issues, right? Okay. When he was in Australia, right? And he left there, he was an Australian basketball prospect, right? His home country. But they wanted him to compete, like most of the players go back and play for Argentina. Luca went back and played for Slovenia. And, people go back and play for their home country, Italy. You've seen all the NBA players really do it. So they assumed that Ben Simmons was going to come back and play for Australia. He played for Australia's 2012 under 17 team and made his debut with the senior team in 2013, right? So the relationship with them seemed to went sour somewhere when he tried out for the 2014 FIBA World Cup as a 18-year-old and was cut from the squad. And then he got mad, he got cut and never played for Australia since. So Australia at the 2016 Olympics, was coming up and they just assumed Ben Simmons is going to be there. But he expressed all his interest of, yeah, I might want to play for Australia and this and that, but went against it and said, I want to focus on my rookie season in the NBA. Then he said, I'm going to play in 2019 for the World Cup, for the FIBA World Cup. And everybody's like, all right, Ben's going to play for Australia. And right at the last minute, he backs out. Then the Tokyo Olympics came. He was talking about playing there. But as the team was getting ready to head into camp, it went into next year, the Tokyo Olympics. He dropped out as soon as the team was going into training camp. So the 76ers was going into, I think he was out for whatever reason. They played in the bubble and they got swept by Boston. And he was like, man, I can't believe, my boys, it hurts seeing my boys get swept and all this stuff. I'll be back next season and this and that. It won't happen again. And I remember somebody made that post and they said, come to the Nets. And it won't happen. And sure enough, he just got swept with Ben sitting on the sidelines. Now, he didn't want to play for the 76ers after the 2021 collapse in the playoffs. The media in Philadelphia executed him for not wanting to shoot the ball and take shots and lost to a team they should have beaten easily. They lost to the Atlanta Hawks, and it was the most unbelievable series in history as Philly lost with Ben Simmons receiving much of the blame for his poor play. Ben Simmons refused to shoot the ball late in the games and only shot 32.7% from the free throw line. He passed up that open dunk when he had nothing to do but dunk the ball. And everybody basically threw him under the bus after the game. Then he mentally shut down and went into these issues that Ben Simmons seemed to have. Now, the problem here is this is a blowback on Rich Paul because Rich Paul has pacified his behavior over and time again instead of addressing the problem head on. And it was that Ben Simmons needs help. And instead of getting him his help, they keep enabling him, giving him everything he asks and begs for. We saw what happens when you keep doing that to the guy from Akron. Is this guy mentally weak? Yes, he has mental health issues. I believe it. 100% Ben Simmons suffers from some type of narcissistic behaviors, mental issues that he shuts down completely like a spoiled child. He feels entitled, he's very arrogant, and he shuts down. Ben Simmons is not making anybody respect him. He's making people can't stand him. See, Queen Regina, the thing about Ben is he feels entitled. His sister Liv, who I talk to and followed a lot on Twitter, she knows about Ben and the way he is. And she exposed a lot of the truths about what was going on with the Simmons family. And because of that, they took her account down off Twitter and silenced her voice. She spoke about the half brother, and the things that he was doing to her when she was a child. And she came out and accused him of it. And she wasn't accusing Ben, but Ben and everybody knew. And they're taking care of him and he's still part of the family. And the family Ben didn't want it to come out because he thinks it's going to hurt his brand. So he doesn't want this even out and Liv's like, I need to tell my truth. So she started telling her truth. And then all of this start coming around and start getting knocked down. And then the family put out a statement saying, please forgive our daughter. She's suffering from mental health problems. And she's like, yeah, I do have mental health problems because of stuff like this. Everyone acts like I'm crazy or it's not happening. And I won't be silenced. My voice won't be not heard. And she's all of a sudden, their family treat her like we're going to get her help. And Ben, same thing, mental health issues. But do I believe Liv was lying when she says all y'all care about, the parents, is Ben's career and everything about Ben? And as long as Ben is in Philly and making money and doing all this, that's all y'all care about. As long as Ben is making the money. Let's worry about Ben's money. She was in pain and she was talking. So, of course, I hope Liv is doing all right. But they had took her page down because she wouldn't shut up. She wouldn't stand quiet. And Ben just wanted to stay silent and wanted all of it to go away because he felt like this is going to hurt his money. Now, Ben decided to go to a rap concert when it was time to practice. And everybody was like, okay, we need to lock in and get ready for this run. It was a rap concert coming up that he wanted to go to. So he decided this is going to relax me if I'm able to go out and kick it and go to the rap concert and hang out with Rich Paul and LeBron and all these other people. We gonna all go to the game. It's like, I mean, to the concert. It's like, you got a big game coming up. Why are you trying to hit this concert up? Joel didn't even go, and he loves to go to a concert in Philly. Yeah, Rich Paul. My dog, it's a shame, but he needs to be out. You want to say, man, I want the brother to be successful. I'm rooting for the brother. You really want that. But then in the end of it, you're looking at it and you're saying, yeah, but I see why he gone. I see why they gotta let him go. They're doing a lot of different things just to get the money. But a lot of the things that happened this season, this is Ben Simmons being Ben Simmons. He wanted out of Philly because he felt like they turned on me. How dare the media and then my own teammates? I don't want to play with them no more. So he pouts like a kid to try to get out of the major contract he just signed. When I was like, that was a waste of money. I'd have let him go. I wouldn't have signed Ben Simmons to that kind of money. He's not gonna improve. This is all you're gonna get out of him. He's shown you throughout his years he don't want to improve. But you cannot win a championship where your star point guard is shooting 37% from the free throw line. It's never gonna happen. Yeah, they ate him up. Now I know he suffers from mental health issues. But this is part of the narcissistic personality of people pampering to him. Whenever he starts throwing a tantrum, everybody runs to try to pat him on the back to see what's wrong with Ben. So if you've been treated like that your whole life, and whenever something don't go your way, you just pout and somebody fix it and do something for you. Why would you ever change? You don't know no other way. This is the only way you know. Yeah, who did he win Rookie of the Year over? Donovan Mitchell? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? That was home cooking. That was some good old. No, Ben just wanted to get paid because I wouldn't say who beat him. Now, the playbook he's running is Rich Paul's playbook. Rich Paul wanted to get him out of Philly, had him go show up at practice with the phone, not even trying to pay attention because he wanted to try to keep his money because they was starting to dock the money. Then it's like, dude, if you're not gonna come here and take this serious, like we got guys in here that's trying to work and take this serious, and you and him making a mockery of it. Like you don't even want to be here. The team don't really want to see you here either if you're gonna be like this. You killing morale. Coach talking and you on the phone. Like I'm here. Give me my check. You kill the morale of the team. Yeah, I ain't trying to get paid. It is what it is. But I'm more disappointed in the fact that you have different scenarios that's transpiring. Like you have all of these different entities out here trying to push the narrative of this is how you play the game of basketball. This is how the game of basketball is supposed to be. But the mental health part is a very serious part. Ben Simmons' mental health is real. He does suffer from a mental disorder, I believe. And the fact that they trying to say his back hurt, it's just the timing of it. Him always, because he's done this plenty of times before. Keep pretending as if he's gonna come back and then he don't, and it's just people are like pissed off with it because he's why pretend like you ready to come back, then be like, oh, the back spasms came back. It's like, dude, you don't want to play. The game plan is people, they want to run this thing here. The people get pissed, void his contract or trade him or go send him any place he want to get rid of or go from. So hopefully he ends up on the Los Angeles Lakers roster. So he could be in LA playing with LeBron. I want LeBron to play with him. I want LeBron to have Ben Simmons on his damn team. Please put the two together. Oh, please, please, with sugar on top, put sugar and syrup on top, put them on the same team. Knock them out. Because see, he's creating more work for Rich Paul than anything Rich Paul has ever imagined. He's had it since college. The college scouting report told you everything that he is right now. He shuts down mentally. His sister suffers from the same conditions. She has mental issues, but she's actually went through things. He told people in the room that he has mental blocks. Those exist for him. And they go into some of the postseasons and it causes stress. And it's a trigger point. And, it gives him back issues sometimes because he's so stressed. And he's so tense, it gives him back issues sometimes. Now that could be true because there's a lot of people that has happened to. He said he was gonna play. He woke up and his back hurt, and he wasn't able to play. And he said there wasn't much more to say, and it's just that he's got like this Michael Myers approach to where he's like almost expressionless, like he just has no empathy, no care. So you don't see competitive fire from him. But it's probably something that's gone and disconnect something mentally. Now, all these people who went extra hard on him, which I felt they all went over the line. Now, Kwame Brown pointed that out because never before have I seen, everybody talked about Ben Simmons. It was like LeBron gave them the go ahead. Like, y'all can go ahead and do it. Yep, we do protecting him. Go on here. Nothing gonna happen. Go on here. You can do it. So now it was open season on him. I've never seen anybody take that kind of route to where Jamie Foxx had to come out and say, like, man, Stephen A, like, I talked to you, Stephen. Like, don't you think that's a bit far? Like, as another black man, watching another man who didn't even play getting ripped down like that, Jamie Foxx was watching that like, what are y'all doing? This is like something unseen or unheard of. Now, here's the bigger picture. God forbid, but if Ben Simmons hurt himself, if Ben Simmons happened to hurt himself or take his life, oh, sports media gonna change. Oh, sports media gonna be, they'd like to apologize to the families of Ben Simmons. Yeah, y'all gonna be real somber talking then. Because I brought up the fact of that Kwame brought up yesterday when they were down 3-0, and I couldn't believe people came out and attacked Ben the way they did. I can't blame the man that ain't playing. You know, I'm just like, man, why you not playing Blake Griffin? Why you ain't playing the people that's ready to play? I'm looking at Ben Simmons like, what was keeping him from playing? He mentally got to get up to play. This is gonna mess up the CBA. When they go back to renegotiate for this money, that's gonna mess things up for people when they renegotiate. It's gonna be too many players getting money, claiming mental health issues, and they're gonna be doubted now. They're gonna have to go through psychological evaluations now before they get the money. Then they're gonna have provisions in contracts that say, okay, if you have a mental breakdown, you're gonna have to go see our therapist. They finna make this so ironclad to that you guys are not gonna be able to get a dime anymore that's playing in the league. They're gonna start stripping you down like the NFL. And people who kept pushing this narrative, like Rich Paul, doing this for this guy here, Ben Simmons, that set the standards. Catering and pampering these guys have caused the problem. So they're controlling free agency and the trades. They want to pick where they get traded to. Well, you send me here, or there. I don't want to go there. It's too cold. They're going to be like, everybody can't go to California. Well, then, man, I want to go. Why he get to go and I can't? They don't want you. Why they don't think want me, man? You ain't a good agent. Fire you. Agent gonna be like, I told you, you do your part on the court, I can do my job out here. That is correct. LeBron and Rich Paul have done a lot of damage to the NBA. They've damaged the actual foundation of what the sport is supposed to be. And I feel bad with other people battling mental illness and people who deal with stress. Now, Kyrie has found a way to deal with it because he dealt with it spiritually. But Ben, he's not connected like that. So Steven Jackson's whole thing about money, because that's the only thing Steven Jackson understands and recognizes, money and flash. That's his life, you know, that's how he is. So he equates everything to money, which made him sound so stupid and ridiculous. But I'm used to it from him. To me, that's Steven Jackson. Like, man, you from the ghetto, man. What you doing? Talking about some mental health issues. Mental health is not a joke. People suffer from mental health every day, and it never gets spoken about. As Kwame's both stated, Kwame is speaking from experience. This is a guy who went through being just drugged through the mud for years and years and years. Anything happened with somebody else, he's not even playing. They'll bring his name up as the punching bag. And it's not just black folks they was doing this to. They used to do that with Darko. Darko recently spoke up about it because, he got children now. He's retired and he had to speak out about it. Now you know what they do? They don't even mention Darko no more. The Carmelo Anthony and Darko deal. They took Darko with the second pick in the draft. Detroit could have had Carmelo, but they took Darko. Now, on paper, Darko was outstanding overseas, veteran, played against real world talent, basketball talent, and all this, but it was like Carmelo Anthony just came in, played 1 year, won a national championship, and now he going to the NBA. He finna dominate. Kwame was mentally weak. What's mentally weak to you? He's still here, but I'm quite sure. I mean, you probably gave him a lot of stress. You see, y'all don't understand. This is before the internet. This man was being disrespected on national television like every day. Even when he was on other teams, they just disrespect him. He was the whipping boy. Like, we gonna talk about him. So if any people see him, they ain't even seen him play. They just gonna be like, oh, he a bum, or oh, that's him. And you're humiliating this person. This person have children that's growing up and getting older, and people be like, why are they talking about you like this? Like, what did you do that was so wrong? You would think that he was the worst player to ever play in the history of the game. Who was the player in 2006 got drafted by the Raptors? He played a couple of years in the league and was out. I think he was the first pick. He's from Italy. What's his name? Bomani or something like that. He's a good European player, but it just didn't quite work out in the NBA. Absolutely. It's who we like. It's not even about who you like. It's who they like. Because you like somebody, they'll come out and bash the guy every night. So it's about who's going along to get along. Because there's been terrible players. They never even dog. They talk about them like they were the greatest things on earth. They talked about Steve Kerr like Steve Kerr was outstanding as a basketball player. Steve Kerr was a role player. That man never averaged more than probably 6 points a game. He was a great shooter of the basketball when he got a chance, but he was slow. Couldn't really get his shot off. But he can hit a spot up jumper if somebody can get it to him. So he fit a team like the Bulls. Hold on. I don't know what that is. No, but they never spoke ill on Kerr. I've never seen anybody bring up Steve Kerr's record when he was playing basketball and bring up his stats. But yet they'll compare him to Steph. Man, he's just like Steph when Nash played. I'll be like, man, y'all act like Nash was scoring 25, 24. Steph Curry beat him in one season. Most of these things, like people don't even know they have these issues. Mental health is something that really got to be diagnosed. You might be stressed. It could cause hyperventilation. You don't know what's going on until because you never probably had to deal with these situations. But people can apply stress to your life with all the stuff that they doing on national TV. So as a basketball player, I don't even think Ben Simmons should be playing basketball. I think he should be out the league completely. He should be out the league until he can get himself together. Because in other words, you're just stealing money. It's not the Nets or 76ers job to babysit your mental health condition. They ain't gonna say, hey, you got doctors for that. If you got some conditions, you probably shouldn't be here. You probably should be, getting help. We're not gonna be paying you $20 million to sit around on the bench and to play dress up. That's not what we got you for. You was supposed to be a part of a deal of a trade. Yeah. His scouting report, they had it in there. Height 6'10, weight 240, wingspan 6'11, standing reach 8'11. He was a point guard was his position. Date of birth 7/20/96. Jonathan Giovanni writes Simmons and his synopsis on Ben Simmons' college career, March 2016. Simmons' lack of competitiveness in crucial games has raised questions about his character. Those who know him best said he needs things to revolve around him on and off the court, and that he's often been closed-minded to coaching or instructions. That's March 2016. It's 2022. Is that not the same guy that we seeing right there on the basketball court? I'm gonna tell you something right now. Kwame played about what 11 years in the league. He played about 10 or 11 years in the league, probably more than that. You don't play 10, 11, 12 years in the NBA and you're a bum. Believe me, they get you out of here in about 2 years. In 2 years, you out the league, bro. They don't play. You'll be in the G League or you out into the developmental league. So they're not going to keep giving you deals and saying, here's $30 million. Here's another 6 million. Here's another 5 million. If you're not doing something that's keeping you in the game. See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people who don't play basketball are sitting here trying to write people careers off. That's a good point, Queen Regina. She said the NBA is handcuffed to Ben Simmons because they either initiated or aggravated his mental conditions. Laws have changed concerning mental health in the workplace. That is true. But here's the situation. It's not the NBA that's doing that. The NBA is not the ones that's doing this. It's the sports media that is doing this. All these sports shows that's on ESPN, Fox Sports One, or the internet. Period. People and celebrities are going around trashing this man. Now, if this man decides to hurt himself, it puts everybody in a liable situation. But they're right. They gotta walk around on pins and needles, or needles and pins, because of this mental health situation. She's absolutely correct. While y'all are saying that, it is true. And because of the collective bargaining agreement, this is what I'm saying, it's going to hurt the professional athletes when they have to go in and renegotiate that CBA, that you might be looking at a nice big old strike because the owners are not going to go along with this anymore. Now, only thing reason it got delayed was because of the pandemic, but now it's going to go back full swing. And you're going to start seeing something you didn't expect to see. Even though I got about another year, water filters, they can go about a year. I like to at least go and get replacements. I need these replacement filters. I don't want to ever be needing something and I got to go run out and get it. You see what it's doing, right? Hung out to dry. Never wash, dry jerseys. For those people who don't know. Oh, shoot. That's what happened. I finally got the washing machine to work too. Ben Simmons is he misunderstood? No. He's a guy that should have been told no before. And they didn't tell him no. And then if you do something he doesn't like, he acts out. He didn't like the way the team treated him. But the players in the post game of an elimination game. Thank you for the God bless you too. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. His sister Liv went public on Twitter and said that they half brother assaulted her so bad that she almost couldn't have children when she was young, when she was like 5 years old. And the family knows about it. They know all about it, and she put the whole business on Twitter because she wanted to tell her truth. Liv Simmons put this out, and it was a big mess. I was talking to Liv, and I told Ben Simmons' sister, I said, listen, she's like, no one is listening to me. No one believes me. I have a right to say my truth. And the family put out a statement talking about her mental health. She suffers from mental problems, and they've been dealing with this for years and trying to keep it a family secret about Liv. And she's like, everyone in my family is so concerned only about Ben. My mom is all about Ben. They moved to Philly. And as long as Ben is making money, they don't want to affect his brand. But what about me? Why can't I say and tell my truth? And she's like, I'm not afraid anymore. I want to tell my truth. They end up silencing her, taking away her Twitter, everything. They took everything from her. The man said in 2016, LSU failed to qualify for the 64 in NCAA Final Four. So they qualified for the NIT tournament. He walked out on his team and wouldn't compete and play in the NIT. Said, nah, I'm going to sit out for the NBA. I ain't going to take the risk and get hurt. I'm just going to wait for the NBA draft. This shocked his teammates. Some of them, but not the majority of them. Thank you for hitting the like button. Then Australia, the Australia international competitions. When he was young, he played in the under 17 classic for Australia. He did the FIBA in 2013 for the Oceanian championships. He played. Then it was 2014 in the FIBA Championship World Cup. When he was 18, he got cut from the squad. And he was mad and ain't played for Australia since. Then the Olympics came in 2016. And everybody thought, okay, well, Ben's going to go back and play for Australia in the Olympics. The Olympic committee thought that. They talked to Simmons, and he was like, yeah, I talked. Yeah, I'm play for Australia in his rookie year. Then he said, I want to focus on my rookie season in the NBA. Then we know he ended up sitting out a whole year after getting injured in preseason. So nobody thought too much of it. Okay, it's done. It's done. Then 2019 FIBA World Cup, Australia. Everybody go back to their hometown and play. You saw Tony Parker kept going back trying to play for Turkey. You saw Manu Ginobili go back and play. Won a World Cup, won a gold medal for Argentina in basketball. Never happens. All these players go back to play at home. So here's the thing that makes it even more interesting. he expressed his interest in playing for his home country in the 2022 Tokyo Olympics because he didn't play in 2019 FIBA World Cup. It came down after saying he was going to play for Australia in 2019. He said he was going to play. And right at the last minute, he dropped out. Sounds familiar, don't it? The very next year, 2020, Tokyo Olympics is coming up. Pandemic hit. We understand. Pandemic pushed everything back. So in 2021, here it comes. But Ben coming there talking about he's finna play. Then he dropped out at the last minute again, right when the team was heading to training camp. He pulled out. So this guy has done this his entire career. So the fact that he came out and said he was looking like he was going to play in game 4, I didn't expect him to play. I don't know why they thought he was going to play. Nobody really talked bad about him on the team at all, even though he didn't play. The media went crazy on him as if all of a sudden he ain't playing after the third loss. It was just open season on Ben Simmons. I would have thought he played. They mad because they thought he was going to play. Even there said, I didn't think he was going to play. We treated if he played, great, but I didn't think he was going to play. He gave us the appearance he was going to come back. I'm like, a person who's dealing with mental health issues, you think they're going to come back when the team is down 3 games to none? All the pressure in the world is on them. They wanted the favorites to win it all, and they're down 3 games to none, and on an elimination last game that they lose, they out. His first game back, you gonna take a mental health person and think he's gonna play that damn game? And if they lose, it'll be all on him? Now that I say it, it makes a lot of sense, don't it? That he wasn't gonna play. What? Who? You think somebody suffering from mental health issues who sat out an entire season basically because of it is going to come back in the last game of a playoff of elimination and he going to suit up and get on the court and compete to try to win, and if they lost, y'all finna really dump on him. He gonna take the blunt of all of it. He's talking about some weight. Ben Simmons is suffering from mental health issues. Well, I don't know, whatever you want to diagnose it. Well, the 76ers ain't paying him. And he's out of $20 million, so he filed a grievance to try to get his $20 million back because he said, hey, I did everything. They was like, nah, you didn't. You ain't do none of the stuff we asked you to do. Then he went out and decided to go practice with a high school team. Allegedly, that happened. And people saw that, which is a violation in the NBA protocol. he out there trying to train at a high school, and you can't do that. It's against the law when you're a professional basketball player. I know, but see, this is what I'll be talking about. Oh, I'm glad you got a chance to see that video. They sitting over here messing around with that video as we speak. So I've been telling people off in emails all day today. So it's been email wars. I mean, like, this is how people with money fight. It's crazy. Email wars. Wait till he get this email. Oh, you ain't respond back. I'm like, look, I don't have time for this. I want to talk to somebody and choke them. See, real I respect. Fake I cannot. But Kwame, he could relate because he went through this.
All these guys weighing in on this guy's mental state, and they're not doctors. We got all these guys weighing in on all these things. And I guarantee you, if Ben Simmons, no other nationality, no other sex would be treated like this black man. Only a black man will get this treatment. Only a black man will get this treatment. I'll say it again. Only a black man will get this type of treatment. If a black woman said she had mental illness, you better not say nothing disrespectful in the media. They would attack anybody who said anything about a black woman who said they had mental illness. So ladies that have sons, what are we doing? What are we doing? Is your son now less in? You gonna throw him to the vultures that we can just say anything about a black man? If Ben Simmons was a white woman, we would not be playing with mental illness and joking about mental illness and calling him a punk. We would not make it a tough macho thing if he was a female or a white man. We wouldn't make it about being tough. Only a black man can do this to. I was talking to Garcia on the phone, and he explained to me a story I didn't know. Allegedly, when Michael Jordan, fathers passed away, the media blamed Michael Jordan. The media was saying it was Michael Jordan's gambling habit that may have led to his father's death, driving Michael Jordan almost insane. The media tried to bully this kid into playing in the game. The media tried to make this kid play. You name another athlete, you name another person that lose their father, and the media writes that about them. It's only the black males that they can disrespect like this. Michael Jordan was one of the greatest players, if not the greatest to play. And when his father died, some media pundits wrote that it could have been due to his gambling issues and tried to link Michael Jordan to some guy that he played golf with. It's always us black men that they try to tear down. Why is that, guys? Why? How come us black males are the only one they attack like this?
You see? Here's the bigger question. Do hockey have a salary cap? Hmm? I know there's a maximum cap and a minimum cap, right? In the NHL. Ooh, Quincy Hudson. Did Quincy Hudson just say the NHL don't make NBA money? The NBA make more money than the NHL? You need to expand your horizons, Quincy Hudson. Oh my God. Okay. Now, baseball don't have a luxury tax, do it? Or okay. All right. Because I know in baseball, they can pay them what they want, right? Okay, NLB, right? They don't have the salary cap. Baseball, right? Okay. Now, baseball players, right? Nobody really talk about baseball though, do they? How many times you see people talk about baseball? How many YouTube videos you think people on here really going off about baseball? You see them talk basketball 24/7, right? We talking the highlights, the clips, everything. They hardly talk about it on the sports shows. On all these debate shows, they hardly ever talk about baseball. It's always about NFL. It's always about basketball. NFL, basketball. Why? Because it's black athletes. Kwame just asked, why they do this to the black athletes? Baseball players can get to do what the hell they want to do. Baseball is not predominantly black. It used to be, but it ain't no more. They start grabbing people from the Dominican Republic. They started, because we start playing more basketball and getting millions of dollars doing that. We weren't playing baseball as much. See, back in those days, we didn't play basketball like that. We played baseball and football. Boxing was the number one top earning sport. That's why the heavyweight division was where it was at. That's why when people say Tyson Fury is the top 10 heavyweight of all time, I can't say that. I can't say Tyson Fury is the top 10 heavyweight and how would he fight against George Foreman and all these. I can't make that assertion. And the reason why you can, because the talent pool is not, you fighting former football players who failed at football and failed at basketball. So they, all right, let me try boxing because I can't make it to the league and the pros here because the money is in other sports. So people are not going out for heavyweight boxing. Why would you do that? If you're that good, you should go ahead and play football. The money's there. You should go do basketball. The money there. This is a last resort now, is boxing. That's why it's more Hispanics here. It's not a lot of Hispanic people in the NBA. Okay? So boxing is their sport. Soccer, football is their sport. Do soccer have a salary cap? I don't know if they do. I know baseball don't have one. They could pay you, one player can get $300 million. And we used to dominate baseball. Some of the best baseball players were brothers. And down south, they play baseball. It's serious. They pay you what they want to pay you. You think they didn't play? He said, not Premier League. Exactly. And who was in Premier League? It ain't us. Ain't a lot of us there. You think they tell you they paying Ronaldo? They saying, Ronaldo, you can get hundreds of millions. So why in the sports, Kwame brought up the question, why do they feel so comfortable to do this to us? Now, baseball, we just showed you how they never really talk about baseball at all on none of these sports shows. We just pointed that out. And we just pointed out the fact that baseball has no salary cap. Why? More Caucasians play baseball, right? Right. Now, we turn over here. Soccer. More Caucasians play soccer. Right? Premier League and all that. No salary cap. So ain't no cap on how much to pay them. But the sports like NFL, NBA, worldwide most talked about sports of all times. They make shows of debate shows to talk about the professional athletes all day long of those two sports, football and basketball, because it's predominantly done by African Americans. Thanks, Darius. I appreciate the super chat. It's not about that. It's about what they allow and what they don't allow. Because this is our own people that do it. They know they can talk about us all day long. They build their shows to talk about African Americans every day on the show. Somebody white got to do something out the box to get talked about. The only two white people they can talk about is Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. And they got to watch how they say it. Roethlisberger's retired. They didn't bring up now one thing that he didn't did. And we all know what Berger did. They praised him like he was the great white hope. They let him ride out with his dignity. Mike Vick, bring up Mike Vick, you think all he ever did in his life was have dogs fight. It's been so many years, he's been on shows doing this and that. And they be Mike Vick. Yeah, he turned himself around ever since. And don't forget that incident of his. They'll never let you forget it. Chad Wheeler, who is that? Right? Now, that's what Kwame's talking about. Why is it okay and it's a green light to talk about us? But if Tom Brady come out and said he was suffering from mental illness and couldn't play a game and all this stuff, do you think they would sit there on that show and talk about Tom Brady like that? Oh, Tom Brady could play. Oh, he could get out there and play. No, they'd be walking around on eggshells. Well, he is suffering from mental illness, and we don't want to make fun of that here. Of course. That's right, Uncle Frank. I remember that. Chauncey Billups, he's getting nominated for a job. First thing they want to bring up is him being charged for a case of sexual assault on a woman in his rookie year when all he ever did was be there at the party. He wasn't even charged. Now, I don't think Ben Simmons should be in the NBA unless they got something that can really give him some help. Thanks, Chris. Chris Brown. Mm-hmm. It's always been interesting to me, though. Why is it always that way? You're right. Why is it always that way? Right, exactly. Kevin Love had mental issues. He's suffering from mental issues. We gotta respect Kevin Love. Can't say nothing negative about old Kevin Love. Nope. Walking on eggshells. But it wasn't even mentioned, Uncle Frank. That's the problem. You see, it's open season with us. They try to make it seem like you're meaningless. You don't mean anything. They could just talk about you any old kind of way they want. What's up, Derek? Appreciate that. And that's what these shows are geared to now. What they did, Stephen A. Smith did for 2 days, 3 days straight on Ben Simmons and attacked him as if he played the game. It was so alarming, Jamie Foxx had to call him. After making that video, he had to call Stephen A. Smith because that was far. He was like, man, you went like far. Steven Jackson said, man, ain't nothing wrong with you, man. You got money and all that, man. You can't be having no mental health issue, man. You come from the hood, man. Ain't nobody gonna have no mental health issue coming from the hood. Shoot, you got money. I'm just like, Captain Jack, baby. Captain Jack only see money. Nobody from the hood gonna have no mental problems. You black, you just shake it off because you from the hood. Stephen Jack is out there, boy. Captain Jack. Stephen Jack is out there. Stephen Jack is out there. Stephen Jack is out there, boy. Captain Jack. That boy can't get past money. That's just it. Only thing he see of value is money. Oh, what's this? Money. What would one game mean? So this person said why he couldn't play one game. My thing is, you thought he would. I never thought he was going to play. It's their fault for believing that he was going to play. The Brooklyn Nets didn't think he was going to play. Did you see Nash and the rest of the team think that he was going to play? So if the people that he playing for don't think he's going to play, why are you mad because you thought he was going to play? So you coming out, how dare you come out there and pretend like you going to play and you going to go out there and play? Ben Simmons he probably needs to be gone. He's probably the weakest mentally person ever to play a professional sport. I mean, forever. I'll be like, dog, you are going way too far. A person who's suffering from mental health issues that has been out for about 3 whole months. He ain't played in about 3 months. And you want this player to come back in the last game and play with all the pressures on the line. They down 3-0. If they lose, they eliminated. You want him to come on the court and play. You think he finna come on the court and play in that pressure situation to play 4 pressure games if they ever get past the first one? Because as soon as he come back and they lose, it's all his fault. And then he didn't even play. And it was all his fault. No, I'm not making excuses for Ben Simmons. This is what I think they're trying to do is get the paid and still get up out of there. They really want to be in California. They want him, Rich Paul want him over there with LeBron. And I hope to God it happens. But Ben is a whole different mentality. He don't feel he's ready for all that pressure. He want to just start the season off regular, just from day one of the season, where there's no pressure on him whatsoever. First game of the season. I don't want to jump in the playoffs and everybody, all eyes on me. You know, I'm back in the playoffs. But he was like, I was going to play. Then I got up and my back was hurt. Now, if you do go through a lot of stress, which what they were putting on him at the down 3-0, all the media in the world start putting pressure on Ben Simmons. So you putting all this pressure on this guy to play in game 4. Had y'all probably shut up, he probably would have just tried to see if he gave it a go and tried to play a little bit. But y'all put all the pressure on him. Ben Simmons needs to play. Why isn't he playing? He better step up in game 4. Y'all put all this pressure on this dude, man. He's somebody suffering from mental health conditions. And God forbid that man don't hurt himself. If that man hurts himself, ESPN's in trouble, Fox is in trouble, all of them in trouble. Then they're going to be like, we got to change the way we do things around here. Then you're going to see a bunch of apologies. Yeah, man, Jamie Foxx told me as soon as he made the video, he called Stephen in. Hey, Stephen, yeah, it's Jamie. I saw your video, man. That was pretty far for another black man to talk to another black man like that. Yeah, I didn't appreciate that. You know, Ben Simmons, he's going through some things. But for you to say something like that, you made it personal, like it wasn't even about sports. You didn't even give a analytical breakdown or anything. You just straight up called the man a punk, and it was far. It was pretty far. I was stunned. Was something going on with you, man? Like, does he owe you money? Steve, no, stop, Jamie. You know we go way back. You know we go way back, me and you. Yeah, no, it ain't like that. It's just that, you know, Ben Simmons be playing and all that. You know he playing around. He know he can play. He just mentally weak, bro. I ain't letting him get no slack over here. Nah, you don't get that. I holds it down. Okay. I don't know who you are right now, but I just wanted to say my piece. I'm out. Well, I'm gonna talk about it on the show tomorrow. I'm just letting you know. Do what you gotta do. I'm out. So that's how that conversation went. See, people expect fans. I mean, they don't really expect that. If you expected a fan to show you some courtesy, they're gonna be like, I paid $600 for this ticket. That's your courtesy. Get your ass out there and play. I don't care about you having chick problems and none of that. Your kid didn't go to school today. I don't care. I paid $600 for this seat. Get out of there and play some ball. So you thinking you getting some compassion from fans? That's not gonna work. So they don't even look at that. The compassion is supposed to come from the people that actually are reporting on the game. They supposed to actually have some empathy and professionalism in how they do the job. They're acting like the fans. That's the problem. You got all these sports shows now, they act like just fans blogging. Yeah, you ain't nothing but a bum, and you stink. And they like, yeah, see, he said it on TV, so I can say it too. Then you get them so hyper, they feel like, hey, he can say it on TV. So when I see him in person, I'm going to walk up to him and I'm going to tell him about it too. I'm going to say it just like they said it on TV. And then you're going to make somebody get real hurt out here. Somebody going to get hurt real bad out here in these streets. But they create what they call the atmosphere for destruction. Mm-hmm. But this is not about Kwame's playing days. I'm just saying he's qualified to speak on it because he experienced it. Mm-mm-mm. That was a good orange. Getting my breakfast grub on. Dog, they said I was fat Cino. Bop, bop, bop. Be like, fat. Bop, 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 bop. They'll be, oh, fat man, kaboom. I mean, they do a lot of things that's damaging to people's psychological well-being. You never know how people's lives are. Would you say Darko was a weak person? He wasn't. It's just that here it is, been like 20 years later, and they still bringing up the Carmelo Anthony trade. He had to call them and say, hey, man, I'm grown. You know, I got kids out here, and y'all act like I was the worst player ever. You know, it didn't work out. I don't think the system I was in worked. I tried it, you know. I really didn't get an opportunity to showcase what I could do. You know, I played in the league. It didn't work out. I went back overseas, had a pretty decent career, but y'all taking this thing too far. No, not me. I would not put my child anywhere near basketball or football. Mm-mm. Nope. You gonna play golf? You gonna play a sport? You gonna play tennis? You gonna play golf? Why? Endorsements. Do you think? Look at tennis. Why do you think the Williams sisters so rich? You think that's a mistake? You see, that's what King Richard was talking about. He was talking about them endorsements. He knew where the money was. The money is in tennis. That's international money. There's jet money, limousine money, submarines and rings. Golf, Yeah, baseball. I'll get them into baseball. There's a sport you could play for 20 years if you're good. No, they don't. They don't want a lot of blacks playing tennis. Don't say that because that's not true. Believe me, they make it hard for the blacks that are playing. You have to be extraordinary to make it because all of those camps and everything else, those are designed for them rich white kids games. Like golf was supposed to be for them, and tennis and all of those. And it wasn't even expensive to learn how to play tennis and all that. But they do that for fun and recreation. But competitive tennis, oh, that's you got to have money for that. And it was never inclusive for us. Shoot, I be betting on international tennis every day. That's how I roll. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. It's been a great 1 hour and 30 something minutes. So let me get out of here. Gotta get the day rolling. I'm out.